Today, we will be talking about the true meaning of excellence. So, basically, excellence, excellence is an interesting word, right? Because when we think of excellence, we think of oftentimes being better than we think the core meaning of that word means being better than most people, right? Being better than the majority of people at something, right? But I believe that that is a symptom of excellence. The key meaning of excellence is to be outstanding at something, meaning basically being so different, so unique, having such unique ability at doing something, or just having a unique ability in and of itself that it differentiates you from the masses, right? It's so unique to you that it differentiates you from so many different people, right? Which naturally will make you better than most other people in most cases, but it's the key thing is that finding something that differentiates you from the crowd, right? And I think that's like the key and critical difference that we miss. Um, Oftentimes we think that we want to be the best, right? We want to be the best, meaning that we want to be better than everyone else. But oftentimes we forget that we all have something that we can be excellent at. And I don't mean just like we could apply ourselves more at you know, the consistent things that everyone wants to apply themselves at, right? Like going to the gym, getting a little bit smarter. No, I mean like we all have something unique about us that differentiates us from that differentiates us from the crowd, right? But we oftentimes don't focus on and develop it. So it goes, it just doesn't grow and compound and we don't get recognized for it. So I believe that if we want to really focus or we want to build a life of excellence, we have to pursue we have to pursue first a life of authenticity, being true to who you are as a person and seeing how that merges with how that what your talents and gifts are and what your abilities are. And I believe that that in and of itself is what will lead to excellence, a life of excellence. We're often fed hustle culture, right? I've talked about this in other videos to improve our situation. However, however, hustle culture, working hard is one component, but like I've said before, you need conviction, which is basically emotion in line with thought. In Yeah, emotion in line with thought towards whatever you're doing to develop it. And if you don't develop the conviction to develop your what is authentic and unique, what is excellent about you, then I believe that you will not build up a life of excellence. A life of excellence, if you really think about it, is just focusing on what makes you excellent over and over and over again and developing conviction to developing the conviction around that thing and just continuously harnessing it, right? Um, I believe that it's no secret, or like that's why some of the greatest, most successful people we know, right, whether it was Kobe Bryant, right, or it was Steve Jobs, those are two individuals that I think of right now who were meditators, right? They knew the power of the mind. Or John Jones is another one, an MMA fighter, if you don't realize. A lot of those guys in the MMA do meditate and visualize success. They harness the power of their minds to achieve a result and outcome. And you see that a lot in if you really listen to a lot of athletes and a lot of also entrepreneurs, they talk about this process. I believe it was I don't want to mess up his name, but it was the guy who wrote The Next Great Superpower. I forgot what his name was. He was was one of these billionaire folks, but basically, he was also, quoted on saying that meditation is the one of the keys to success, right? And that is because these people delve deep within their psyche, their subconscious, and realized their true selves and what differentiates them from the rest of the world. And I believe we all have something that differentiates us from the rest of the world, but oftentimes, like, no one can really understand that better than yourself. And you can't really understand that if you're not in tune with yourself. So, again, if you want to build a life of excellence, first build a life of authenticity. If you want to build a life of authenticity, delve deep within your mind and heart through meditation and focus. Once you delve deep within your mind and heart, develop the conviction to focus in on what makes you different from the rest of the crowd over and over and over again. And inevitably, you will achieve a life of excellence. That's all I have for today. If you gained any value from it, you know, please, yeah, just please apply it into your life. And God bless.